What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 670 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's KB coming at you solo dolo, because for the last 7 months, that's effectively what this show has been. It's been my own solo podcast, talking Philly sports, life, and a whole lot more. We're slowly but surely getting caught up to being back on track schedule-wise. I appreciate all the support and patience with that, but this episode, another kind of solo topic, but a little more on point. It is going to be my keys to how the Philadelphia Eagles can win the Super Bowl in 2024-2025. I'm going to break it all down for you, and then we'll look back at this in February and probably laugh at ourselves when a lot of it doesn't come to fruition. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, LinkedIn, Twitch, the whole 9 yards. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. We're reaching closer and closer to new milestones on audio subscribers. Would love to hit bigger milestones as we keep pushing forward here in 2024 and beyond. So keep subscribing, leave a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify, and of course subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. I think once we are all caught up schedule-wise, I think starting in October, I'm going to try to see how things go. And obviously right now we are onboarding here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. So if you feel like you fit in with our culture and what we're trying to accomplish here, that application is linked in the description, and potentially you become my new co-host. But I think we're going to try a rotating chair starting in October, hopefully. We'll see how that works out. Maybe sooner than October. Who knows? But keep on subscribing to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Ring the bell icon so you know when new videos go live. And this show is presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. The NFL season's on the horizon, and these are the things I've been mulling over as it is approached. You know, we still have playoff baseball to be hyper excited about. We've got playoff lacrosse going on in the PLL to be stoked about. But when it comes to the NFL, the Eagles are getting set for their season. And here are my keys to the Philadelphia Eagles getting another one of these hats, another one of these that matter in the trophy case, and that is a Super Bowl championship. I'm going to start on the offensive side of things. I'm going to go all three phases, and then I'm going to go to the ins and outs details. So we'll start on offense, everybody. And on offense, here are my keys for the Eagles to have a successful season that results in a Super Bowl championship. Number one, Cam Jurgens has to be 60% of what Jason Kelce was. Nobody is ever going to replace Jason Kelce, okay? It's impossible. He's a 6-time All-Pro. He's a future first-ballot Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, a million-time Pro Bowler, and did it all here, 13 years with the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody is ever going to replace Jason Kelce, okay? Let's get that fact out of the way. Cam Jurgens in his first year starting at center just needs to be 60% of what Jason Kelce was. He's not going to have the leadership pedigree, and that's okay. It will get there in time. The biggest things Cam Jurgens needs to have is communication with Jaylen Herz and the guys beside him playing guard, Landon Dickerson and what seems to be Mekhi Becton. Those are the biggest keys right there. Is Cam Jurgens' communication skills that form that triangle. The base being the left and right guard, and then the connector, which is Jaylen Herz. The communication has to be there at the center position. You are essentially the brain of the operation. It's where it all starts on offense. Cam Jurgens just has to be an elite communicator for this offense to succeed. And where does that all start as well before it even gets on the field? And that's Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore has to come in here and showcase why he is an elite offensive coordinator. We were always struggling at the hands of Kellen Moore when he was the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. That dude knows how to scheme an offense. He knows how to call plays. And now that he's here and he's got the tutelage to make sure that that streak continues for him, I mean, look at what Kellen Moore did with Justin Herbert and a hospital Chargers team last year. So many guys were injured. Justin Herbert was injured, and he still had that offense producing almost every week, okay? When he was with the Cowboys, 3 out of 4 offenses were in the top 5 in NFL production. Kellen Moore is the engine that makes this car hit nitrous speeds. And he's got to showcase his creativity. He's got the talent to do it from Jaylen Herz, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson now, Kenneth Gainwell. He's got an elite offensive line, okay? He's got the tools to do it. Kellen Moore, being the creative genius we know he can be, is going to be pivotal for this Eagles season to be a success on the offensive side of the ball. Cam Jurgens, being an elite communicator, is going to be pivotal for the offensive side of the ball for the Eagles to have success and lead them to a Super Bowl. The next thing, Jaylen Herz has to have the foresight and the confidence in himself to run the ball again. 2022, we saw Jaylen Herz comfortably running the ball, doing, designed runs for a quarterback that were not the tush push. Jaylen Herz has to be able to see a play breaking down and say, okay, I'm going to make the play happen with my legs. If Jaylen Herz can use his legs to his advantage, it's going to make this Eagles offense more dynamic. That's going to be huge. And he's just got to have the confidence in himself. He's coming off the knee injury, was wearing a brace all season last year. He didn't have the mobility. If he can showcase that mobility again, the Eagles will be in good shape on offense. The other thing, you have A.J. Brown, you have Devontae Smith, you even have Jahan Dotson now. Those are crucial. Those guys are going to get theirs. That's part of what makes this offense so elite, is you have 2 essential wide receiver 1s on the outsides, and now you add a Jahan Dotson, who was just a wide receiver 2 a year ago for a division rival. He's going to be in the slot for you. The big thing is getting Dallas Goedert involved, using the tight ends. Jaylen Herz last year didn't scheme up. The offense was not schemed to get the tight ends involved nearly as much and nearly as effective as they should have been. Dallas Goedert's a huge body. He's got good hands. He should be mentioned in the breath as a top 10 tight end in the league. You need to get Dallas Goedert schemed open and utilize him in the middle of the field. When you have defenses planning to protect and cover the outsides with Devontae and AJ, you need guys in the middle that you can pick up a tough 5 yards on a passing down. You need somebody who can stretch a play and get yards after the catch because of their physical presence. That's Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert has to be involved in this offense this year. And I think if Kellen Moore does what he does, he's going to get Dallas Goedert involved. But they can't alienate him. You can't have multiple games this year where Dallas Goedert has, 20 to 30 receiving yards and no touchdowns. It just can't happen. He's a dynamic player that he needs to be averaging like 55 to 60 yards a game. And I know there's other mouths to feed on the field. And there's going to be guys that have their day. But Dallas Goedert needs to be involved in this offense a lot more than he has been, and that's going to be key for Jaylen Herz to have success, Jaylen Herz to have confidence in himself, and this offense being able to move the ball down the field and have long, sustaining drives that result in touchdowns. Using Dallas Goedert in the red zone is going to be pivotal. Dallas Goedert's a huge key, in my opinion, to the success of this Eagles season. Now, those are just my offensive keys.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
The defense. The defensive keys. You need an attitude on this defense again. And that is why you bring back a C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That is why you have invested draft capital in corners with your first 2 picks. You're losing a Fletcher Cox on defense. You've lost pieces on this defense, okay? James Bradberry is not 2022 James Bradberry anymore. You're going to be relying on a lot of young guys, but you lost Hassan Reddick. You need an entire defensive line to step up. You have Brandon Graham in his final season, but it doesn't look like he's going to be on a pitch count. He's going to be playing hard all season long. You need this young defensive line to create pressure, create havoc up front, and make offensive lines and quarterbacks uncomfortable to create turnovers, to get sacks. You need Jaylen Carter to take that next step forward. You need Jordan Davis to be more multidimensional. You need Bryce Huff to be somebody. You invested a lot of money in him in the offseason. You need him to showcase why you invested that money. You need the linebacker play to be competent at the least. Last year's linebackers were atrocious. You need Nakobe Dean to take a step forward. You need Nolan Smith to take a step forward. You need to see, if you're going to, invest time in Zach Bond, you need to see what he can showcase. Devin White. You need the linebackers to be competent at the minimal baseline, okay? Linebackers are key in this league. Tight ends are such a big part of game plans in the NFL now. You need guys who can cover the tight end. You need guys who can blitz in the gaps when the defensive line is not getting through. You need that front 7 pressure, and it comes from your linebackers being an intimidating force. The linebackers have to step up. Your secondary is going to be tested, okay? Quinyon Mitchell is a rookie. Kelly Ringo is effectively a rookie on the starting side of the ball. Darius Slay is getting older. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is back there. Reed Blankenship is back there. Secondary is going to get tested. You need to create pressure up front so that you take pressure off of your secondary and allow them to make plays when you create havoc and chaos for opposing quarterbacks and opposing offensive lines. The defense, I think, is the weak link this year across the board. I think the offense has the talent. The offense has the skill sets to accomplish what this team needs to do. This season is going to ride or die with how the defense performs. The defense can't stop anybody. You're in for a long season. If the defense is getting gassed and relying on the offense to have to score every single drive, you're in for a long season. The defense is the key to success overall for this team. If the defense is not there, if your young players don't take a step forward and showcase, hey, we're ready for this moment, the season's going to end in January. Special teams is the least of my concern. I feel good about the special teams unit from Jake Elliott, Rick Lovato, Braden Mann, Britton Covey. I feel like the special teams unit has been intact for the past couple of years, and they have what it takes to just set the team up in good field position, get 3 points if you need it. I'm not really concerned too much about the special teams. Defensively, though, is where I have hesitance. Okay, Vic Fangio, he's an old school defensive coordinator. Well, guess what? The NFL is a young man's game now. Can his schemes keep up with the way that the speed of the NFL goes? We shall see. Can this defense take a step forward as a unit with so many young pieces across the board starting for the first time, being relied upon in heavier roles for the first time in their careers? Remains to be seen. But the defense is what gives me a lot of concern this season, especially in the early go. When you're going to Brazil, you have a big game on Monday Night Football with Jason Kelce coming back to town, a Nick Foles celebration, and then you go on the road for 2 tough road stadiums and road fandoms with New Orleans and Tampa Bay before your bye week, and it's an early bye. It's going to be an interesting first 4 games for this defense, and we're going to learn a lot about this team from the defense and how they're able to sustain themselves and create havoc, get turnovers, force drives to end early. You need this defense to be dynamic, opportunistic, and creative in order to have a long, sustaining, successful season. And I mean, on the other side of things, you need Nick Sirianni to. It's a put up or shut up year for him. You know, last year was less than ideal. He survives the season, and I think I was one of the few people that said, hey, give him one more go. Give him competent coordinators without any change and see what happens. There is a lot riding on this season for Nick Sirianni and his coaching career in the NFL, in my opinion. This team is going to have to rally together. We'll see if they believe in him. We'll see if he has the button-pushing ability for game management. But a lot of this season is going to rely on the communication skills and the overall just vibe check that is going to be had week in and week out with this team when it comes to Nick Sirianni. I have no reason to not trust him right now, but as the season goes on, we'll see how things go and how he's able to kind of command this team and command the locker room as a hands-off head coach. It's going to be a fascinating, and it's something that we haven't really seen with this Eagles franchise in my lifetime. Andy Reid, very hands-on. Chip Kelly, extremely hands-on. Doug Peterson, very hands-on. It's going to be a fascinating season to watch. But the 3 big keys, Cam Jurgens, Dallas Goedert, Kellen Moore. That's your triangle on offense for me. Defense, it's your young guys stepping up. It's the Jaylen Carters, the Jordan Davis, Kelly Ringo, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean when he's ready to go. Even Reed Blankenship again. You know, it's a lot of the young guys on this defense that need to take a step forward, if not multiple steps forward, for this team to be successful. And obviously, it all starts with Vic Fangio putting them in the right places to make those plays on defense. And then it's going to come down to Nick Sirianni's leadership and this team trusting him, believing in him, and believing that this team has the ability to go forward and move, along from 2 franchise icons in Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce retiring and pushing this team into the next era of Eagles football. Can they do it? I think it's possible. Will they do it? Remains to be seen. That's why they play the games. I still think you have elite leadership on this team from Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata. I think as much as people don't want to say it, I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson is an impeccable leader. You look at the A.J. Browns and Devontae Smiths. I think Dallas Goedert is a leader, and obviously Jaylen Herz is a leader. But you need the guys around them to step up and put their best foot forward on game day, week in, week out, in order for this team to have success. Can this team win a Super Bowl? Sure. Will they win a Super Bowl? Remains to be seen. It's not one of those overconfident years from me that I feel like, oh, we can take it to anybody. I do have a lot of concerns about the defense. I have concerns about how the schedule, rolls out and plays out week over week. But we've seen this team overachieve. We've seen this team win games they shouldn't win in the past, and we've seen them lose games they shouldn't have. But it's all going to come down to execution. It's all going to come down to your coaching staff putting these players in the right positions to win and succeed at what they're best at. And it's all going to come down, in my opinion, to how this defense performs week in and week out. The biggest key to success and the biggest key for the Eagles to get back to the Super Bowl and to win the Super Bowl again is how well this defense performs throughout the regular season and how they carry that momentum into what we all believe will be another postseason run for the Eagles that hopefully doesn't end in disaster like it did in 2023. Let me know how you guys feel about the season, what your concerns are, what your keys to success are. Leave it in the YouTube comment section. Drop it in the Apple Podcast reviews. Tweet it at us. DM us on Instagram. We'll check them all out. But I do have a lot of concerns about the defense. The offense I feel comfortable with. And we'll see how they continue to elevate week over week. And then, obviously, the coaches. But we'll see how it gets going in Brazil. See how it gets going on Monday Night Football. And then 2 games on the road. And then we have a bye week early in the year. It's an interesting start to the season. Preparing for a crazy run from now until hopefully February. But we'll see how things go. Make sure you guys are following us at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, you name it, we're on there. Follow me on Twitter at KBICCL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple and Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating and review. We're super close to new milestones on audio, so keep subscribing. It really does help the show continue to grow. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment down below and click the bell icon so you know when new videos go live. And this show is presented by the City of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 670. Again, I appreciate everybody's patience and support on us getting caught up. It's been a wild couple of months with getting this show back on track and where we need it to be, but we're slowly but surely getting there. So appreciate the support. Be a friend, tell a friend about the show if you're new here. And if you are looking to get your start in media, we are onboarding here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. The application is linked in the description. Would love to have you join our team. But this has been episode number 670 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the City of Vineland. I'm your boy, KB. Go Birds. I'm getting the heck up out of here. But until next time, I'll see you next time. Peace.